I speak a lot on this podcast about the best way to engage in transformation or to manifest your dreams or let go of old thought patterns or just to simply understand yourself is to get quiet for a minute. Start asking yourself questions. And this episode is extra special because I'm going to do that live for you right now because I have some questions and some answers that I need to get to the bottom of, or at least swim in for a while. And, usually when I begin talking with you, I have a clearer sense of what I need to tell you. And there's one thing that's very clear about this episode is that I need to talk to you about love. That was made known to me very obviously by some of my, you could call them guardian angels or just my own spirit. There were some very, very obvious messages that I needed to talk to you about love. So that's what we're going to talk about today in a way that I never have before. But I'm also going to kind of demonstrate to you what it looks like to actually get quiet and ask yourself questions. And what's extra unique about this episode is that I'm talking to you by candlelight on the night of a full moon. So there's some real spiritual stuff happening here. Usually I record my podcast episodes in the morning or in the very least the afternoon because my brain's just better in the morning. But tonight is a special one. I felt like I needed to talk to you in the evening. So picture yourself sitting next to me by candlelight. Candlelight can be very healing, by the way. And specifically, I am using a candle created by the folks at Mashkiki Studios. There's a chance that I'm saying that wrong, but I still need to tell you about them anyway. They are a local small business, and I only have met Marik, but he is Ojibwe, and he gathers all of the ingredients for all of their products, which includes candles, essential oil type things, although they're not technically like oils, medicines, swamp tea, like tea. I mean, just he actually gathers local resources and herbs for his medicines. And Mashkiki Studios is his business that he runs with his partner, who also has an equal share and role in everything. And so I'm going to link their website in the description because even if you don't live in Minnesota, I highly recommend their business. They're local. They're very passionate about Indigenous education and creating, true and empowering narratives for Indigenous folks. And they have absolutely wonderful products. So specifically, I am sitting next to their smudge candle, which, if you don't know about the practice of smudging, it's basically a way to clear negative energies. And typically it's done by burning sage, but what they did is they put sage, cedar, and sweetgrass all into one candle, all very sacred herbs, and it says purify, protect, and restore. So the sage part is about purification, the cedar is about protection, and sweetgrass is for restoration. And I am very passionate about all of those things, and I love this candle. So you should definitely check out their products. They can be ordered online and shipped to you. So again, I'll link that in the description, but please know that as I speak these words, I have this beautiful candle next to me, and I love it. But the reason that I'm talking to you about love tonight is because it keeps coming up. And I've had a couple episodes about love, but this one's different because I'm going to be talking about things that I think I haven't wanted to look at for a long time. I know that anytime I kind of want to dismiss something, like I kind of go, oh, no, what? No, I don't want to, that means that there's something inside me blocking it. So there's your first example of when you're trying to get quiet and get to the bottom of something, or if there's something in your life that needs your attention. One way that you might know that it needs your attention is because you actually don't want to give it the time of day. That's what I've noticed for some of the things that I actually really need to take a look at is I want to dismiss them. And it's not a big, enraged dismissal. It's kind of just like, oh, no, not right now. And love is one of those things. And I sense that, it's a deeper, more empowering, powerful concept of love than I previously held. So let me explain, give you a couple stories about how this came to my attention, and then I'm going to ask myself a couple questions live for you now. So let's talk about some demons first, huh? I've been afraid of demons my whole life. Like, I used to be afraid to sleep in my own bed growing up because I was afraid of evil spirit attacks. I would, even just seeing a trailer of some kind of scary demonic movie would sometimes send me into a fear so deep I wouldn't sleep for months. I'm also a person who struggled with night terrors ever since I was a little kid. I'd wake up and scream and think that I saw, snakes in my bed or something like that. I was often haunted as a kid by recurring nightmares of particular monsters. And I've always just been really sensitive to scary things. I don't like watching horror movies. I don't like watching horror trailers. Like, I've hated it. And although I've grown up a little bit, right, like I've developed some tools to kind of deal with the scary things so I can sleep in my bed and things like that, nightmares haven't gone away from me. I have nightmares frequently, and often I am dealing with negative entities in these nightmares. So literally like demon-like creatures, but they sometimes look human, who are attacking me in these dreams. And by attacking me, I mean it could be anything from like literally they're following me to like they just won't leave me alone. Like they're just literally following me in the dream, or like I'm getting in a physical altercation with them because I know they're evil, I know they're bad, I want them away from me. So I kind of just start punching and kicking and just all this stuff to get them away, but it doesn't work. They don't leave. And I have a lot of scary dreams like that still, and I don't know why. Like I said, I'm somebody who doesn't watch scary movies. I'm not into that kind of thing. There's theories as to why I have these nightmares. I'm kind of just a sensitive person to spiritual things overall, and unfortunately I think sometimes even negative entities are drawn to that. But either way, I needed to deal with this, right? Nobody wants to have dreams like that. Nobody wants to lay down in their bed, feeling like they're going to have this fitful sleep because of something scary showing up, right? So with that, I do see a shaman occasionally. And if you don't know what they are, a very simple definition is spiritual healers, right? They are honored folks who have a deep connection to spirits, and they work with a lot of natural medicines from the earth and drumming and things like that, like lots of the ancient things that human beings used to do regularly. And they can help you, with physical ailments, but they also can help you heal spiritually. And that can be, trauma programs. That can be even just, hey, I'm really trying to manifest my best self. Can you help me there? And there's a specific one in my area who's just wonderful. He's so wonderful. And I've gone to him a few times, and I saw him recently. And I've told him about my bad dreams, because he can help with that. And in the past when I saw him, he said, well, when these creatures come to you, you can ask them, are you of the light? And they can't lie to you. And of the light means like, are you a light creature? Are you good? Things like that. And he said, they can't lie. You can ask them if you're not sure. Because like I said, some of these things look human and that's hard to identify, so he said, you can ask them. And so for whatever reason, and this is probably what makes shamans so powerful, I was able to be lucid enough in one of my nightmares that I remembered him telling me that. Because as you know, when you dream, very few people successfully can like lucid dream, have control of their dreams. It's a skill that you have to practice and learn. But I was lucid enough to remember him, to remember in my waking life what this shaman had told me to do. And so I've asked some of these figures when they come into my dream, are you of the light? But they just stare at me. I know they're not then. I have my answer because they can't lie and say yes. They kind of just stare at me, and that's my answer. If they don't say yes, it's like I okay. But the problem is then I didn't know what to do. And in these dreams, I would just get in a physical altercation with them, and it wouldn't help. So I brought that up to him when I saw him most recently, and he said, well, this is what you do. You give them your love. you send out your heart. And he kind of like made this sort of circle shape around his chest, like with his hands, put like kind of a circle shape with his hands in front of his chest and made this motion of like sending out love from your chest. He said, you send them your heart. You feel all of the love that you have in your body and you send it out towards them. And they don't like that. They don't want that. That's how you get them to go. You send them your love. You send them your heart. Do you know what my first reaction to that was? Bullshit. And I have so much respect for this man, but and I didn't say bullshit, but in my head, bullshit. And I knew, but okay, even as I thought bullshit, I knew that he was right. I knew that he was right about sending him this love thing, but my brain's first reaction was bullshit. What? My love? I don't know how to send them my love. What are you talking about? And there came that dismissive voice, right? There came that voice of, I don't have time for that. Love? What do you mean send them my love? How do I even get in touch with it? What are you talking about? And that was one of the places that love came up for me very strongly. And throughout the rest of our healing session, love kept coming up. He kept talking to me about focusing on my love, meaning like my capacity to carry love, the part of love that is me, specifically Jenna. And it's a very difficult thing to understand. And as I speak to all of you, I need to tell you, we all have a unique, powerful force of love and light inside us. We all have a very uniquely powerful way of showing love to ourselves and to others and to the earth. And it is unique to us, and I think it takes a lifetime to learn, but we get glimpses of it along the way. And so there was this part of me that knew that he was right because I sensed that's what he meant. Exactly what I just told you now. This powerful sort of picture love is kind of like a light orb in your chest. This powerful, beaming, bright light in your chest that is unique to you and how you express it and how you feel it. That's what love is. But as I'm sure you can also hear, that's a really difficult thing to understand, especially in a world that carries so much noise, that is so good at distracting us from who we are and telling us what we should be, and that who we are actually isn't enough. Those lies, right? The ones that we often hear young, sometimes they get reinforced as we get older, and then they just become what's true. They become our internal dialogue, and they block us from that orb of light. But it doesn't go out. And we are complex and vast beings. So at the same time that I thought bullshit, there was another part of me that's like, oh man, this wise guy is right. I know he's right. But damn, now I got to figure out what to do with that. The thing that I was trying to dismiss. Okay, now I got to take a magnifying glass to it. And not just for the purpose of fighting demons, okay? Like, yes, I genuinely do want to try to send out my love in my dreams because I hate these nightmares that I have. I want these things to go away, and I'd like to connect with some kind spirits, I want to connect with love. So I want to. I have the motivation to figure this out. But it's not just about my dreams and fighting demons, okay? It's about my waking life. And I think many of us have said, I love you a lot. It's a very casual thing that we say, right? Love you, bye. Oh, hey, love you. We say it on the fly, right? When we don't really have the opportunity to feel it. And that's all well and good, but I think life has sort of rushed us out of understanding this beautiful capacity that we have for love that we maybe only just touch on sometimes. Maybe we only touch on it on anniversaries or birthdays or Valentine's Day or whatever it is. I feel like love is rushed and not really seen or understood. And that's point number one when I ask myself right now, what is love? Specifically, what is your love? And I think to love is to see. And when I say see, I think about my experiences with my students. And one of the things that made me a good teacher is that I saw them. When I looked at them, I saw their souls. And what I mean by souls is I saw that orb of light, who they really are. And I can't even fully explain to you how I did this, but maybe this is like my unique gift, I guess. But several people possess this, where there's lots of noise, especially in a classroom, but I always had this ability when I was working with a student to tune out everything around me. Like, let's say I was helping them with writing a story or an essay, and I could get in this one-on-one conversation with them where I could help them uncover what really matters. And I talked with my friend Amelia today, whose interview, I interviewed her today as well, and you're going to hear from her very soon, and I can't wait to share that with you. She said to me, Jenna, thank you, because you have this way of kind of drawing me out of myself and helping me expand. And thank you for creating an environment that did that. And I couldn't help but think of my experience as a teacher. And that's what I always tried to do, because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted my students to know that they had a powerful voice, and that their voice should matter to them because it was beautiful, and that it matters to the world because it can change it for the better. I fully believed that because I know the power of stories and what they've done to my life, and the stories we tell ourselves, good, bad, whatever it is. Stories are everything. And I needed my students to know that. And then I would see how it would light them up. So when I think of love, okay, and what my shaman said about send out your love, seeing. Love is seeing another's light, somehow, in all the noise, capturing a little bit of who they are. Seeing who they really are. And that relates to the things I've told you about my husband. He saw me. My life was never the same after I met him, because he saw my creativity, he saw my ability to tell a story, and he could speak magic into it. He would pick up a piece of my writing and just talk about it and light it up. He sees. I don't know how he does it, and I'm getting emotional right now thinking about it, but he sees. And I knew it. There was something when I met him, and as time went on, that just like rings inside me like a bell. It's like this chorus of understanding. You see me. You see my soul. In the middle of all this goddamn noise. The noise of this world, the noise of the lies, the noise of everything. You see me. And you can tell me about it. And what is it like to be seen? I bet you can think of at least one moment. I promise you can. Even if you've been through trauma, even if you had shitty parents, even if you were bullied in school, take a second right now and think about someone who's seen you. And here's how you know, you feel it. You almost freeze. You freeze in this moment where you almost don't even know what to say because you're overwhelmed with being recognized. They recognize your soul. Maybe it was through something you wrote. Maybe it was through something you said. Maybe it was through the way you shot a basketball, but they saw you. And it wasn't about the basketball itself. It wasn't about the writing itself. It wasn't about the business proposal itself. It was about you. They saw the soul behind the product or the action, and they could tell you about it. And the other way that you recognize it, so in addition to kind of just freezing and soaking in this light that they're giving you, you also want to do it more. And what I mean by do it more is whatever it is that they're seeing in you, you want to expand on that. For me, with my husband, it was the process of creating. The way that he saw my writing and saw the soul behind the writing that I was pouring into it made me want to write more. And since I've known him, my skills have gone through the roof. I thought I was a realistic fiction writer. I didn't think I could write fantasy, which is my favorite genre, by the way. I just thought, oh no, I'm not a fantasy, I'm not. He always told me I was. He saw it before I did. And lo and behold, by living alongside somebody who saw me, who believed in me, my skills began to grow. Love is the oak tree. If you listen to my last episode, The Straw in the Oak Tree, you know what I mean. And if you haven't listened to that episode, go listen to it. It'll help you. It's fun. I talk about my friend Varla and her Enchanted Plants book, which is also amazing. But for the time being, let me talk to you about the oak tree. The oak tree is this idea that oak trees have this symbolism of being very much tied and protected to spirits. The oak tree, because they're so massive and protective, they're seen almost as elders of the forest. They're this sort of massive, hulking, beautiful creature, but wise, protective, and they can be used for so many different medicines. So love is the oak tree. Love is planting roots with the right people. Love is allowing those people to help you grow. And the way that you allow the people who see you to help you grow is just by intentionally turning your attention toward them. Think about it. Some of the most negative, toxic people have a beautiful way of grasping our attention, right? Whether it's because we want to please them, we want to prove them wrong. Oh, you called me ugly, or you think I'm worthless, let me prove you wrong. Or because, we get obsessed with the narratives that they tell us. That's part of what the Straw in the Oak Tree episode was about. Like, they say something shitty about us and we ruminate on it. That's all we can think about. We can't let it go. And we get caught up in it. Negative people who don't see us, who are just looking to use us as a way to feel better about themselves, have a great way of grasping our attention. Turn your attention towards the people who love you. And the way that you do that is you look at them. If they give you a compliment, you don't just say, oh, thank you, and kind of move on. You think about what they said. You write it down, and you know when people mean it. You're smart, you're connected, you know when somebody gives you a compliment and it's genuine. You write that down. You write it down before you go to bed. That's love. That's an act of accepting their love for you, because they chose to love you in that moment by sharing their light of seeing you in that moment. You accept their love by writing it down and remembering it, and you love yourself by writing it down and remembering it. Love is seeing. Love is what we give our attention to. Give your attention to the people who love you, who are spreading their light towards you, because you are 100% worth it. I can tell you that with absolute confidence. And I promise you they're there. Our brains are just kind of naturally designed to focus on the negative, for survival purposes. But I promise you, those who love you are there, and they deserve your attention. And guess what happens? Because this is the other magic, part of love. The more that you accept the love that others are giving to you, the more you feel inspired to give it back. I bet you can't guess what my stories are about, right? They're about self-love. They're about empowerment. Every single one of my goddamn stories is about empowerment and caring for the earth and each other. Well, that's how I felt when I met my husband. That's how I feel around the folks who I've interviewed on this podcast. Every single person who I've interviewed is somebody who I have felt love from and wanted to give love to, because they're real, because they're genuine, because their intentions are to spread the light in this world. When you experience love, you want to give it back. You want to give it back. People who love themselves, don't want to see others destroyed. And guess what? Here's the beautiful thing. Here's the beautiful thing about self-love. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to be working at it. Can I tell you something? Here's something I'm going to say loving to you. Perfection is bullshit. Matter of fact, I would even argue that perfectionism is a byproduct of narcissism, right? It's all a part of this image that many of us have fallen victim to over and over again, especially in the United States, of if I look this way, if I have this thing, if I get this status in life and I keep it, then I'm perfect. I've made it. I win. So few of us ever actually get it. And those of us who do, what happens if you get it and you hate it? Oh shit, this isn't what I thought it was. That's because it's a lie. Perfection is bullshit. Loving yourself is about steps. And you don't have to have arrived at something to experience it. That relates very much to what my husband and I talked about in the episode about like dating defeat. When you hear my beautiful, 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 beautiful friend Amelia speak soon, she talks about her process of just recovering from the trauma of sexism and abuse and all these things. She hasn't arrived. I haven't arrived. And I don't think we're supposed to. I think we're meant to live a life of connection where we're continually connecting to ourselves and connecting to others. And guess what? I know when some of you hear, oh great, so I'm always going to be working on myself. I'm always going to be working on connecting to others. Yes. And that's a good thing because you are vast. Orlando Bloom said this, of all people, that people are galaxies. And I 100% agree with him. People are galaxies. You are a galaxy, and you take a lifetime and beyond to get to know. And you should take joy in that. Take joy in learning to love yourself as a galaxy. Don't think, okay, just because I haven't arrived perfectly at whatever it is, letting go of my fears, achieving all my dreams, being happy with my physical appearance, shaking addiction, whatever it is that you are working on, don't think of the fact that you haven't arrived as like a downfall of being human. Think of it as a gift because we are vast, because we have so many things that we can do with a minute, with an hour, with a day, with a week. If you don't believe me, just listen to all the entrepreneurs that I listen to, like Ed Milet and Brendan Burchard and all those people. They're like, they will teach you how to use every minute of your day and what a gift that is. They will teach you how to take your life back in this era of, attention grabbing dopamine hits. So I can't say for sure if they would agree with me, but I'm guessing that they would agree with me that human beings can do powerful things with even 60 seconds of their day. So don't look at whatever journey that you are on as oh shit, well, I'm never going to arrive. What's the point? No, that is the point. The point is you are a galaxy and there's so much you can learn about yourself in even one day. That's love. Love is slowly seeing yourself day by day and seeing other people. And I mean their souls. I mean the part that you see and feel when the noise falls away. And that's why I keep coming back to get a journal. Even if you only have time to write one sentence, write one sentence. Or when you're in the bathroom, and yeah, I don't care if you're pooping or just hiding from your kids for a minute. Instead of scrolling on your phone, leave your phone out of the bathroom and just ask yourself questions. Hey, who am I? You can get vast with that. Or you can say, what do I need to give my attention to today? And your soul's under there. I'm going to talk about my friend Amelia again because I love her so much and I was so just blessed by our conversation today. She wrote this book that you're going to hear all about in my episode where I interview her. And she's talking about when she was getting ready to escape or leave this abusive partnership that she was in. She talked about something that she, it was a shitty moment where she had discovered something really just shitty about the person she was with. And thinking, I can't believe it's come to this, just thinking about leaving. And in this inner dialogue she was having, she said, "Hey, Amelia, I know you're there. You're right there. You're not far away. You're right there. You're close. I'm coming." That was so breathtaking to me when I read it in her book, because what she means is, specifically, when you're in an abusive relationship or a toxic situation, or maybe you're just caught up in a life that isn't meant for you, you lose sight of yourself. You don't know who you are anymore, and you start to feel really sad because you're like, where did I go? And you feel so disconnected and far away from yourself. But I have good news for you. You are way closer to your true self than you could ever know. You're right there. Who you are is right there. I promise you. You just have to listen for a second. See for a second. And that can be as simple as leaving your phone out of the bathroom. That can be as simple as, when you sit down in your bed at night before you lay down, write a sentence down in your journal. Ask yourself a question. Who am I? And then just be quiet for a second and wait for what the answer is. You might get some negative noise first. Okay, notice it, let it pass. But your soul will speak to you because you're right there. So when it comes to my love, right, if we take it back to what my shaman was talking about, all I can say in terms of whether I'm sending my love out to, get the demons in my dreams to go away, or I'm sending it out to you in hopes of helping you, or where I'm, feeling it for myself to just care for myself, I think the answer for me and what love means is seeing. Taking the time to see myself, to let the noise fall away. Taking the time to accept the truth of who I really am. Because let's talk about the demons for a second. I believe that I am a very powerful figure of light that they should be afraid of. But because I'm human, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh man, but I'm new to fully understanding this spiritual stuff. They know more than me. No, they don't. All the lies come in sometimes when you start to think about who you really are. So what it means for me is letting the noise fall away and actually accept the truth of who you are. The truth of who I am is, I believe I am somebody who is sent here to help heal this world because I really want to, number one. Who doesn't want to live in a world where people actually love each other and want to help each other? Shit, Of course I want that. I get energy from helping to make that happen. Each time I would help a student and I would see that light bulb go on, or I would see them take a step, I would feel this powerful energy of just healing happening. I feel it with my husband each time we overcome some of the external circumstances that keep trying to knock us down. I feel a powerful energy when I can get back up. That's love too. Love is that I always get back up. Love for me is that I was never far away, just like my friend Amelia. I think back to some of my worst moments, the moments I'm most ashamed of, the moments I was really on paths that were not meant for me and did not serve me. I was right there. When I look back on that, I'm like, yeah, even in my worst moment, I knew I didn't deserve the bad things that happened to me. I was fighting because I was right there. And I have to say it to you again because I feel the strong need that you need to hear it. You are right there. Love is right there. It's as simple as just being quiet for a second and asking yourself who you are. And once you know that, sending it out into the world, accepting that it's true for yourself, and share that love, share that gift, see people. See them. Let the noise fall away. If you're looking for a more practical tip of how to practice the love of seeing, ask people questions and actually listen to the answers. You would be surprised, and I know this because I'm someone who asks a lot of questions, how many people actually don't know how to talk about themselves if they're not talking about what activities their kids are in, what they're doing at work, where they went for a beer. You would be shocked at how many people actually don't know how to go deeper than that. Because people don't ask. Very few people look beyond the image. Ask people real questions. Hey, what was your favorite birthday that you ever had? If they like a particular type of food, what is it that you like about that food? Whatever it might be, you can look up all of these detailed questions, but it can be it's as simple as questions, the questions we ask ourselves, the questions we ask other people. And so I gotta wrap this up now, because I just gotta, because I could talk all night, but here are the takeaways that I want to give you. This is what getting quiet with yourself actually looks like. Because even though I'm talking to you right now, that's all I'm doing. My phone is silenced and away from me. I don't have my TV on. I'm not, around other people. I'm here with you. And I'm here with myself. This is what it looks like, kind of out loud. But picture some of these questions happening in your mind. Sometimes they can get messy. Sometimes intruders come in, but you just notice them, let them pass, and refocus. What is love to me? How do I embody love? Because human beings, we embody love. We absolutely do. But it takes time and quiet to ask ourselves how we embody love. What kind of love do we want to accept from others? How do we see others? How do we see ourselves? Those are the kinds of questions to ask. And the way to do it is what I just did right now. Just get into this sort of dialogue. See what questions and answers flow. But just give yourself the time and space, because you deserve it. And again, I understand. Life is just so busy. I got 6 kids. I worked full time for a lot. I get it. But like I said, it can be as simple as don't take your phone in the bathroom with you. Take your mind, or if you want to take your journal, take your journal. It can be as simple as a couple questions before you go to bed. It can be as simple as when you first wake up, instead of grabbing your phone, you just listen to yourself for a minute. You'll start to get answers. Love is a very vast and powerful thing. But I think if I had to summarize it, it really is about seeing, about taking the time to see yourself, ask yourself questions, to see others, to ask them questions, and to actually show genuine interest and curiosity in who they are behind the mask. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you for talking with me, listening to me beside the candlelight on the night of the full moon. They say that the night of the full moon is about transformation. And I hope that I can send some of that energy to you right now. So even if you're listening to this in broad daylight, that's okay. I still got the energy of the full moon right now, and I send it to you. And I hope for you whatever transformation you're hoping for, whether you're trying to let go of negative patterns, whether you're trying to escape a toxic situation, whether you're trying to manifest your dreams, whatever it is that you are trying to engage in transformation for, I send you, all of the light and the power that I feel now. You will get there. You are already much closer to yourself than you think, and much closer to the kind of love you deserve than you think. Give the people who love you your attention. Give yourself attention. You'll find the more attention you give yourself, and I mean to the real things, I mean your soul, the more you will naturally love yourself, because you're actually getting to know you beneath all the noise and who people tell you should be. When you actually get to know you, you love yourself a lot more. And I can tell you this from firsthand experience. So I got to thank you for a couple things before I go, a couple more things. Thank you for listening to me talk about love. I needed to hear it just as much as you did. So thank you for listening with me. And, I do also just real quick before I sign off on this night of the full moon, I do just have to thank you for coming.